Braves this football season, Bell Bank is giving one KFAN listener each week $1,000 to pay forward to a charity of their choice. Just head over to KFAN.com. Keyword contest to learn more and enter today. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest.
It's couple 13-14 past. I'm Common. He's 10 to be. And look who's here. The legendary Mark Rosen, looking very natty in your Vikings at a quarter zip up or full zip up? It's a full zip. It's gray and it's got the purple, white, and gold stripes horizontally from just about chest level down to just above the belly button, and you got the Viking logo there on the right. You look awful sharp.
Well, I got it before I
went to Europe.
Went to London, yeah. So I picked it up. I was telling 10, I had never really shopped at that Viking, in the Vikings Museum.
Well, you never had to. They would just give you stuff, didn't they?
No, actually. Oh, they did? The other stuff I've ever gotten was from here. I mean, just KFAN/Vikings.
You must not work the back channels then, because like when I get stuff like that, I just tell the team, "You're giving it to me, aren't you? I'm not paying."
No, I paid for it. No. Oh, even if you think I know people.
I'd rather get it for free.
Well, I think I would.
Well, you just tell them it's your team's logo.
Yeah.
Do you want me to wear it or not?
I understand that. And I think I could have gotten it. Whatever. I just bought it and walked out of there. I was in a hurry. So
you're always in a hurry. You got a fast-paced life.
I know, too much, so I got to slow down.
You're traveling all over the world. You're in Europe.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Corks and Caicos. No,
Corks and Caicos?
What's it called?
Turks and Caicos.
Where is Turks and Caicos? Is it
Caribbean area? I think. Yeah. You got to fly to, at least before we have to fly through Atlanta, and then you got to race over to catch our connection. I think they go nonstop starting in January. But
L.A., New York, oh, how I long for you. Detroit, Chicago, Chattanooga, Baton Rouge.
Oh. This rolls right off your tongue.
Do you know what song that's from?
I do not.
Living in the USA.
Oh, now it makes sense. Yeah.
And when are you going to Kirks and Caicos? No, what's it called? Turks and
Caicos. We're leaving the day. I'm going to miss one Vikings game, which is really unusual. We're missing the Arizona game.
That's a big one, too.
Well, they're all big. They're all big.
Yeah, they're all big especially this time of the year where we're at.
I'll be back in time for Kirk O'Chains to come back.
And when is the Arizona game? What's the date then? I don't have the schedule right in front of me.
December 1st.
The rest of you guys can look forward to other games.
Yeah, I
don't. I'm laser focused. This is
okay.
What do we call this? This is Jaguars week.
You just want to go 1-0.
This is
1-0.
I want to go 1-0 on Jaguars week.
Oh, for the Vikings? Yeah, I thought you meant the Kitties.
No.
Oh no, of course.
Vikings. I don't look ahead. Never.
I'm not looking ahead. I'm just saying that's the game I'm going to miss. But they come. I'll be back in time for the.
When is that Cards game?
I just said December 1st.
I'm sorry.
December 1st.
I was waiting for Rosen to talk.
Then they come back and play. They got 3 home games in a row.
That's where we start building Big Mo and overtake the Kitties.
Atlanta here, and then they play the Bears on Monday night. Their only Monday night game. Then they go to Seattle, which could be a little, pesky.
Do you know where the bluest skies are?
Seattle.
They're in Seattle.
Yeah.
And the hills are the greenest green in Seattle. Like a beautiful child growing up free and wild, full of hopes and full of fears, full of laughter, full of tears.
Wow.
Through the years in Seattle. Do you know who sang that song?
John Denver.
Perry Como.
Perry Como.
That would be is Perry Como. I'll take cheesy singer-songwriters for 200, please.
Perry Como show.
Speaking of I'll let you out of your bet right now.
Which bet?
Tell them what the bet is. You and I have a bet. You also have a bet.
You get the Vikings to win the NFC North. Common has the Lions to win the NFC North.
But I got how much?
$8.
$8 for you.
I'll let you out of it right now for $6.
No, I'll pass on that. Thank you.
We're 7-1, and we've got the tiebreaker already. Do you really want to lose your $8? I'm trying to save you money for when you go to Kirks and Caicos.
Don't I have a bet with Tenna?
You have a bet with Tenna?
Yeah, I'm here to announce that I will let you out of the bet.
Oh, what's your
well, do you know what your bet is?
Our bet is
$50 for
you have the Vikings getting to the Super Bowl.
Wait a minute. No, I haven't.
At 3-1 odds.
No, winning the division.
No, getting to the Super Bowl.
I said that? Going to the big game.
Yes.
Yeah, you're all intoxicated.
I've got them not going to the Super Bowl. So if I win, you owe me $50. If you win, I owe you $150. I will let you out of the bet for $30.
No, I can't. Well, I'm not going to do that. First of all, I thought I was winning. I thought that was also winning the NFC North.
You still think they're getting to the big game?
No. I mean,
Get out of the bet then.
Well, then
Save
get out of the bet. Go
$20.
give them $30 right now.
I don't think they are, but I'm not going to. If they were, I would feel just awful.
Would you?
Yeah. Well, it's the Vikings and the Lions, and you're on your own after that. There's not, unless the 49ers come on like gangbusters because McCaffrey's coming back. I don't see another team in the NFC that's going to challenge either one of those teams.
Philadelphia's playing well.
Yeah. Playing well.
What about Washington?
Don't sleep on that Packers club either.
I'm sleeping on them.
Are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, those words could come back to haunt you.
Well, they could. You know, the Vikings aren't a juggernaut. I mean,
No.
a lot of things not only can but will change with injuries in particular. You know, you're one major injury away from everything going. Well, I mean, a quarterback, whatever, a key position, it can change in a hurry.
Left tackle.
Yeah, left
Saw
tackle.
that happen already.
Yeah. So no, I'll just stand pat. The wagers.
Speaking of injuries and such, Blake Cashman, who's been a real pleasant surprise for the Vikings,
Sure has.
from Eden Prairie, played for the Gophers, was pretty injury riddled in his career up until last year when he had his breakout season. He was terrific for Houston.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings signed him in a free agent deal, and like Teddy and I were talking about this earlier. You know, in music, you have one-hit wonders. You can also have one-year wonders, too. There was no guarantee that Blake Cashman was going to pick up where he left off and have that kind of season, but he did just that. Through the first 5 games, Vikings leading tackler, take care of that center portion of the field. They kind of missed him. I don't think it's a complete coincidence that they've lost a couple of games with him out of the lineup. The coach yesterday was a little coy, said, yeah, he's back at practice. We're encouraged. We're hoping he'll play. I'm paraphrasing, but there was no guarantees he's going to play. Yeah. My guess is I think he does, but I don't know. You know, I'm just saying I'm just doing it on a hunch. I saw
the video of him yesterday at practice, and he was moving around pretty good in the limited time that the media was available to be out there and shoot video. Again, he wasn't going 100 miles an hour, but he was moving without any noticeable limp or favoring that very painful turf toe. I mean, I was talking to Bursich about it last week. He said, that really kind of never leaves you. It's such a troublesome thing, but you can obviously play through it once you get to the point where you can put the pressure on it and move without having that pain shoot up your leg or your foot. So based on what KOC, we'll get another update today, but and it has had a bit of a domino effect because they've had to move Van Ginkel around a little bit, and I think they were at their best when they had Grenard, Van Ginkel, and Cashman roaming around out there, and and then the secondary was better because the way they were executing Brian Flores' defense. So, yeah, I mean, if not this week, then he'll be back soon. It's not like it's a prolonged situation at this point, so that's the good news. But you want to make sure he's healthy. And I think he'll play this week.
Do you think he plays?
Yeah, I think he will.
Do you think Trevor Lawrence plays?
No, I think he's already out.
Is he?
He's
he hasn't been declared out. They're saying it's unlikely he plays.
He's not going to play. I've read like 3 different people say something like Mac Jones. Mac Jones, right?
Yeah.
You familiar with what they call a smoke screen, Mark?
Yeah, but I think he might be having. I think Lawrence might be having surgery on his shoulder.
All right. As we speak, is he under the knife? Is he with Sheldon?
No, there's not. It's not with Sheldon. Sheldon doesn't do surgery.
Oh.
Mac Jones, I think, torched the Vikings when he was with the Patriots one time. But he's
that
had
7 to 15-yard area is what he lives with. He kind of lives there, and if Cashman's out, that's. I'm not suggesting an upset. I'm just saying that's where Mac Jones lives.
There was a history for quite a while of backup quarterbacks, journeyman quarterbacks having their best days against the Vikings. And, Mac Jones has been, he was a high draft pick.
Well, he was only 15th overall, I think.
No, I think he was higher than that, wasn't he? But he dropped to 15th?
No, he was around 15. I can look it up.
Yeah, I think it was 15.
Yeah, and then he was with the Pats, and then
Patriots took a flyer on him.
Yeah, he's been bouncing around, and I don't think that he's going to. The Vikings are shuddering that they're going to have to face him. Obviously, the
7th.
He was picked 15.
Point spread. Okay,
see, I know my NFL draft.
You know your NFL draft.
I'm much like Sauce. Yeah, we're just focused on the.
So
NFL.
my understanding is that Lawrence is out. He's got shoulder with his left shoulder.
Sauce has never seen Mac Jones play football, but he'll talk
Probably
about
not.
like he knows him really well. We watched him at
Alabama.
Tomorrow he'll start talking about how well he knows, man. I think. You know what I think? I think Meat Sauce is a fraud.
How did that go last night, by the way?
He got booed off the stage.
No, he did not.
Well, no, but there was a couple of people that booed him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Just inappropriate or just
no? Let's just say it was
falling flat.
Yeah, you had to work last night to get the crowd to laugh.
Really?
Yeah, it was one of those
crowds.
It worked for me.
Okay, all right.
And it worked for Sauce. He did fine. I like to tease him.
I'm sure.
He's just hard on himself.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because he's used to. You've seen him work. He's sort of a combination of Dave Chappelle, Howie Mandel, and Dave Attell, and he's used to uproarious applause. Usually, you've been there. There have been people that are falling off their chairs, laughing hysterically, where they actually have to be given oxygen because they're out of breath laughing. So you've seen it.
I have,
and it hasn't been quite that last night. So, but we're back at it again tomorrow. Well, River Oaks Golf Course. It's a dinner show. And you know what I would suggest to people that attend a dinner show for Flop, Sweat, and Tears? Bring some Pepto-Bismol because you could get indigestion. You eat your food, great meal, you're thinking it's great, and then all of a sudden you start to see our act, and you go, feeling a little queasy.
You think he's sort of like a football team and going back and looking at the tape, kind of analyzing?
I pep talked him. I took him under my wing. I said, I said, look. Yeah, he goes, man, I've lost the zip on my fastball. And I'm thinking, you've never had you've only had a screwball and a screw loose. Right. But he'll be fine. He's good.
He's got an acquired taste.
He's good. He's got a lot of talent. He's a very funny man.
He'll be back.
Trust me, he will.
He'll be back.
Are they eating dinner while you're doing the show?
No,
because that would be dangerous.
Yeah,
They start choking. They're just laughing so hard while the food's in the middle.
Or throwing it at you.
First, I'll give you
or throwing it. Yeah.
And then I'll give you a.
You don't want to eat dinner because everything's so hilarious at the Flops on Tears. Get your tickets now.
Yeah, because you'll be laughing and the food will be falling out of your mouth and you'll waste your dinner. So make sure you're there. It'll be a lot of fun. Tennessee's got a keyword. Try to put $1,000 in somebody's hand. We'll talk a little more football on the side of the break, a couple of other topics. Then spread swing at 2:30.
The Fan and 2 men in a junk truck want to give you a shot to put $1,000 in your hand with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword check at KFAN.com now for your shot at winning. The keyword is check. Enter now at KFAN.com. Mark Rosen's appearance on the program is brought to you by your Greater Twin City Honda dealers. Inflation Vacation is back on KFAN. We have 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday. That's every hour from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. To enter the keywords and learn more, head over to KFAN.com. Inflation Vacation is powered by 2 men in a junk truck.
Hey, it's called 1314 Pass. Com and 10B. Mark Rosen here. Text messages. By the way, we're broadcasting live from our 651 Carpets Plus studios, home of the next day install. 651 Carpets Plus for all your flooring needs. Brad, John Bryant, KFAN, text line 64686 says, so Mark can explain in great detail where the tiny Caribbean island of Turks and Caicos is, but he has no clue where Fridley is. Must be nice, Mark.
Friendly.
Can't find Lino Lakes, but he knows exactly how to get to Turks and Caicos.
Not exactly. I just got on a plane and they take me there.
Can you name a city other than Minneapolis that borders Fridley?
I would say Anoka?
No.
Coon Rapids?
Coon Rapids, very good.
Coon Rapids does, doesn't it? Yeah. I don't know. It's about the only one I can think of is Coon Rapids. I don't know what else.
Grand Rapids.
No.
Just, you didn't know. I didn't think you knew that.
That's funny.
Gophers 1-0 in basketball. I saw that in the top 25 collegiate ratings. There are others receiving votes.
Are they? Seriously?
No.
You just made that up. Yeah, after one game.
They win. They beat Oral Roberts.
Right.
Dawson Garcia, arguably the best player on the club, had a big game last night. Tennessee says Parker Fox earlier on the Power Trip Morning Show that they called him one of the best players in the country. Do you think he's one of the best in the country?
Well, I mean, Parker watches him every day, and I think Dawson Garcia is definitely all Big Ten material, and I think he'll depending on how this season progresses for him, he has that opportunity to be in kind of that classification. I'm not going to pretend like I've broken it because the landscape of college basketball, as we know, is changing so dramatically, and the freshmen will come in and how long they're going to stay and moving from one school to another. It's not like guys stay 3-4 years anymore. But Parker had a nice, he was 6 for 6 last night in his 18 minutes. And
he was?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. So he had a nice game, and they had a pretty easy, which is what you're supposed to have. I mean, Oral Roberts has a bigger name than some of the schools they end up playing, but, still competition. You want to get out, get the knock the rust
Oral
off.
Roberts a dentistry school?
It's funny.
I thought it was all right. I'm workshopping some new material.
Workshopping some stuff.
How about I workshop this one?
What's that?
Regarding Blake Cashman, here's the question with his turf toe, and we don't know for sure, but he's either going to be
straight up cash in, cash out,
cash in, or he's out.
Right.
Cash out,
Cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out.
cash out, cash out, cash out, cash.
Okay.
That's good.
I'm tap dancing till spread swing.
We got plenty of
Your Minnesota Timberwolves ball club travels to one of your favorite towns, the Liberty City of Chicago.
Right.
What can you tell us about this matchup?
Well, I think
Chicago, are they kind of an ordinary club? Or
they are, but it sounds as if our former guy, Zach Levine, might be out tonight. He missed.
Okay.
I think they played back-to-back, and they're all right. But I think that what Chris Finch wants from this team. I mean, they're coming into a game. They played last night in Dallas. Levine didn't even play in the game last night. Lonzo Ball also sat out. So I mean, and Levine's off to a good start. So the Wolves should win this game anyway. But I've seen them struggle against Chicago, so I'm not taking it. You can't take anything for granted. They got to get better. They got to get better defensively, which is what Chris Finch has been harping on. They were better last game, but. I heard a bit earlier. I mean, this is kind of the feeling out period, especially for a new look. I mean, not totally new look, but a new look with the Karl Anthony Towns trade and how Julius Randle and DiVincenzo are fitting in right now, which looks better and better, I think, by the game, and how they're going to get some of the other younger, newer guys in the lineup as well. So, the Bulls are okay. They're nothing special. But they should win this game tonight. Then they play. They come right back. Swing it back to back. The Wolves are back here tomorrow night against a pretty ordinary Portland team. Mm-hmm. So they're in one of those situations where you got 4 games in 5 nights or whatever. I don't know. But Portland's, and then they play Jimmy Buckets, your buddy, comes in your Sunday night. But
should be a hell of a game. Regardless of what night they play.
Sunday night, yeah, but you'll be watching the kiddies, and so will I.
As we all know, last week we heard NBA Western Conference is stacked.
It is.
Nuggets got off to a slow start. They're playing better now. Westbrook was brilliant last night.
I heard
29 points, something like 10 of 15 from the floor.
Right.
I think he was something like 3 of 4 from three-point range. I think he added something like 6 boards and 6 assists. So a nice game for him. Do you think the Nuggets are starting to turn a corner now? It looks like the young guys are starting to. They had nice nights last night. That's again, I know we beat them last year. We vanquished them in the Western Conference semifinals. That's a real talented club.
Well, look, there were some great matchups last night. And Golden State went into Boston and beat the Celtics last night, which is
who did?
Golden State.
Yeah.
They're off to a really good start. They've changed things around. They no longer.
A lot of people doubted Golden State.
They're 7-1 right now. Were done. Phoenix is 7-1.
Yep.
OKC might be the best team in the entire West at 7-1.
You know what the biggest difference right now with Phoenix is? Tyus Jones. He has now allowed Beal and Booker
to be them, to
be themselves, to not to have to bring the ball up. You look at their numbers. Right. There was a note I saw the other day. I break this stuff down all the time.
I know you do.
I take deep dives.
Yeah.
And both Booker and Beal now they're dribbling like, 30-40% less than they did before because they don't have to bring the ball up all the time and move it around. And
Tyson, nice player.
He's been, that's the word in Phoenix right now is they were missing a player like that last year. It probably is one of the more under-the-radar free agent signings in the league because I don't think Tyus maybe gets as much respect as he probably deserves. And even for myself, I've always known he's a nice player.
Yeah.
But, he never has those gaudy numbers. And you can't always judge a book by its cover or a player just by those offensive numbers, because that's how most people, including myself, I'm guilty of it as well. But that's what I'm hearing, is that he's really been a big help there, because he even scores a little bit, but he gets the ball in the right player's hands, and he likes that role. He doesn't mind that role, and it's worked really well for that club so far.
I always wish he'd end up coming back here, but it didn't work out that way.
No, and he's in a real nice spot right now.
Yeah, he is, and the West is loaded. I mean, you're not going to look at the Wolves. Were playing at one of those back-to-backs, and they fell flat. Losing at San Antonio.
Do you think it was the back-to-back? Do you think that was it?
I don't know. I don't think
that would be hard for me to believe, because after 3 quarters, it was a close game. So did all of a sudden they hit a wall in the fourth? I don't believe it.
No, I don't want to believe it either. And my criticism of that night was that I think Chris Finn should have played some of his younger guys a little bit earlier in that game. But this is going to be a nightly grind in the West. I mean, I think it's like, well, the Wolves made it to the Western Conference Finals last year. Maybe they did get better. We'll see how it all it works out with the trade they made. But there are about 4 or 5 other teams that definitely got better in the West. It's going to be a grind just to make the top 8.
We'll take a call here. Brody out of Chaska. Brody, what's up? Yeah.
Hello?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're on the end, Brody. Don't have a lot of time. We got to get to the point, because we got to get to spread swing, and we're up against the break. We're very efficient here.
Yeah, well, listen. Did Rosen say he's skipping a game?
Yeah.
To go on vacation?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. I'm of that age where I can enjoy my life outside of every single football game.
It's called retirement.
Yeah, well, but I'm not retired. It just works out that way, and my wife can get away she's taking off one. It just worked out that way. The bye week was a little earlier this week.
This is a big game, and it's a big season.
They're
Mark.
all big. They're all big.
Yeah, it is.
I'm with you, Brody.
Do you have any dedication whatsoever?
He has none. Zero.
Constant. I will be.
And then I hear him yesterday.
What?
One of those days. Now all of a sudden he says the Vikings are going to win 12 games this year.
What did I? Yeah. What as opposed to what?
Well, because you said 9 games to start the season.
Well, I
told you we were going to win 14.
Well, 9. Most people had him winning 6.
Not Brody. He had him winning 14.
Well, okay, P8.
He's headed toward 14.
Yeah.
He's closer to 14. They'll have a better chance to get to 14 than 9.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they.
Now you think they're going to win 14 games? You're stealing my take.
I'm not stealing your take. I don't ever steal your take. That is for damn sure. But they should win these next.
Steal everybody else.
They should. They should just win 3 in a row right now. But
Brody, you should think about doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah, you really should, because.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. That's another thing I was going to ask you. You said that before. I heard you have a show tomorrow night or something, don't you?
Yeah, we got a show tomorrow night. Yeah, we do.
Don't you go?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking I could tell some jokes.
You think so?
People love to see
it. Where is it at?
It's River Oaks Golf Course in Cottage Grove. Can you give us a little example? Do you have any material? Why don't you give us a couple of one-liners?
Well, it's kind of hard to do when you're you got to be. I've gone to enough comedy shows. You can't just do it over the phone. Yeah.
Humor, say here. Let me help you through it.
Common's been phoning it in for years.
Oh, you find that funny?
That is funny, actually.
Oh, you find that funny, do you, Brody?
Joke,
here, Brody, here's one for you. Just repeat after me. Raquel Welch.
Raquel Welch.
She should be in 3D.
She should be in 3D.
3D. That's my apartment number. Get it?
He doesn't. It's sinking in.
Huh?
Wait a minute. Your apartment's in 3D? I think all apartments are in 3D.
You need to work on it.
2-dimensional apartments.
Yeah. Maybe comedy's not your cup of tea, Brody. Stick to the Vikings. I
can do it. Trust me. I got good stories. People always say I'm full.
We'll see you. We'll see you there tomorrow night then. Or it's a dinner show. It's at River Oaks in Cottage Grove. We'll see you there. Thanks, my boy.
I don't have to pay to get in.
No. We'll put you on the list. Thanks, my boy.
All right.
Appreciate it. Let's take a break, come back. Deuce joins us next. It's time for a Thursday afternoon edition of Spread Swing.
And
Couple 13-14 pass time now for Spread Swing.
Spread Swing.
Here we are. I'm Common. He's 10B. It's Mark Rosen, and long time no see. Less than a week ago, my firstborn. What was he thinking going to Lincoln? It's Deuce. Deuce, as we headed into the fourth quarter of the game between UCLA and the Nebraska Cornhuskers, after you'd been telling me the corn is reborn and go big red and Husker power and that cheesy song that you sang between the first and second quarters, I was wondering what I was thinking going to Lincoln. But we rallied and almost came back, but alas, we lost.
Yeah, I love to say that the corn has been reborn, and for the first part of the year, it really was. But then, unfortunately, a drought came, and the crop yield has gone dry, and the corn is just dying. Yeah. We got three chances left to secure bowl eligibility, but I heard in that ad Nebraska volleyball was being mentioned, and boy, I think that ad's pointing me in the right direction. This football team is just turned for the worst.
The Nebraska football team was so disappointing on Saturday that even the Crows aren't afraid anymore. The Scarecrows don't even chase them out of the cornfield. So I got to work on that joke. It was a little better. Sorry that I didn't word that quite right. I'll work on it. It was good to see you. Your mother, as you know, was delighted to go to a game with you, so we really enjoyed it. Your gal is a treasure, and so we had a lot of fun, and thanks for having us. We appreciate it. Thanks for showing us around campus, especially the
Vine Street
fields. Did you see the tweet I sent out?
I did not.
It was
Deuce? No, I did not.
I said where Deuce got flagged for taunting.
Oh,
yes. The picture was
the postseason run. The postseason run continues tonight at 8:30. We're back on the Vine Street field to keep it going.
You won last Sunday, right?
Yeah, and it was by far the best team we played. We shut them out. We won 13-0. But the previous games we were just walking all over teams. But they were a good wake up call. You know, we came out flat, but we made our halftime adjustments and managed to go through it.
Well, here's the deal. It's November football. It's playoff football in December, and you can't be leaving plays on the field, and you didn't do that. So I know you didn't have any tutties, but you had a couple of key catches. I met some of your teammates.
Yes, you did.
They look kind of like a ragtag bunch, but apparently you guys got some talent, so best of luck to you there. Speaking of ragtag bunches, when it comes to Spread Swing, I think I had a really good week, but let's find out. It's time for Spread Swing!
Spread Swing!
Well, let's start with somebody who did not have a good week. That would be Deuce.
Why is that so funny?
Deuce, you had the Cleveland Browns +1 against the LA Chargers, and the Chargers won by 17, 27-10.
What were you thinking?
So you lost 16 points there. You also had Indianapolis +5.5 against the Minnesota Vikings.
Look good at halftime.
The Vikings won by 8. So you lost 2.5 there. So I should have mentioned the scores going into the week. Yeah. Going into the week, Rosen, you were in the lead with 127.5.
I still can't believe that.
I was in second with 90.5. Common in third at 35. Deuce in last at -7.5. And Deuce, you will stay in last place. You're now at -26.
The Medusa line.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay. Common, you've just been slowly creeping up and up and up. You were in the negatives there early on. After week 2, you had the bad week 2, but you won both years last week. You had Detroit -3 against the Packers. They won by 10, so you gained 7 there.
It could have been a lot worse. I mean, Detroit should have routed them by more.
You also had Atlanta -3 at Dallas. They won by 6. So you gained 3 there. So you gained 10 points on the week. You go up.
Nice.
You go to 45 points.
I'm very happy.
Me, I have a message from Mark Rosen.
Objects in your mirror may be closer than they appear.
I had the other side of the Vikings-Colts game. I had Minnesota -5.5, so I gained 2.5 there. I also had a nice little hit with Arizona. They were -1.5 against Chicago. They won by 20.
Wow.
So I gained... Man, I just did the math wrong again, didn't I? I'm one more point than I even thought I was. I gained 18.5 there. So I move up to 111.5.
You are catching
111.5.
Objects in your mirror may be closer than they appear.
And then Rosie, you are human. You had a couple minor losses last week. You had Buffalo -6 against Miami. They won the game, but only by 3.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
So you lost 3 points there. You had Philadelphia -7.5 against Jacksonville. They won the game, but only by 5. So you lost 2.5 there. So you're at 122.
Oh, my, you are catching up.
I'm at 111.5.
Wow.
Common's still in the mix at 45.
I love it.
Deuce is where we're used to seeing him at -26 in last place.
Spread swing.
Deuce, even though you're last, you're first.
I'm 4th in the North. The apple really doesn't fall far from the tree. But I'm going to turn things around. I'm going to turn things around this week, and I think this Washington club is just due for a bad game. I understand that they're red hot and Jaden Daniels looks great, but they had a hard-fought win against the New York Football Giants last week. That emotional Hail Mary win against the Bears the week before that. And this Steelers club has got one of the best defenses in the league. I think they're going to stifle Jaden Daniels, and they're coming off of a bye week. I understand. I believe this one is in Washington.
It is.
But I got some faith in this Pittsburgh club. I'm tired of taking the favorites. That's my typical strategy, and boy, look where that's gotten.
Last
so
place.
I'll take the Pittsburgh Steelers +2.5 in Washington at FedEx Field.
Spread swing.
I may as well just keep going back to the well because it ain't done run dry yet.
Nope.
There's a lot of kitty litter in that well. It's a tough assignment. Taking on a pretty good Houston club. They're 6-3.
All right.
Got a lot of talent. Kitties are 7-1. It'll be an outdoor game. A lot of people wonder, well, God, Lions have played indoor games. Can they play outside? We're built to win, and so we'll go to Houston. This is a business trip for Detroit.
Oh,
this
is it?
isn't there. It's
Okay.
It's not like they're going to go to the Grand Ole Opry and watch some music, go down to Beale Street or anything. That's not what they're not there for the nightclub scene. It's a business trip. I'm giving 3.5, but I'll take the Kitties.
Of course you will.
Restored. What do you think of the Lions now?
Spread swing.
I'm going to go a little primetime game action. I'm going to go to the Monday Night Football game. The LA Rams are favored by a point over the Miami Dolphins.
Tuesday night.
The same Miami Dolphins team that has won one of their last 7 games. I get it. They got Tua back last week, but things just still seem off in Miami. And LA on the other side, they've won 3 in a row. We saw them beat the Purple. We saw them win in overtime against Seattle last week. And that was with Puka Nacua kicked out of the game. They got Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua. They've been back for a couple weeks now. They're starting to get some offensive linemen that are going to be healthy. And let's face it, Miami's going 3 time zone difference traveling from Miami all the way over to Los Angeles.
Cannot be denied or dismissed.
I'm going to take the LA Rams -1 over the Miami Dolphins.
Snipe me. Not really.
Spread swing.
Well, here's the leader. Where are you?
Is Roger Staubach playing quarterback for the Cowboys this week?
Dandy Don Meredith.
Or Meredith? Which one?
Cooper Rush.
Yeah,
the
Cooper
party's
Rush.
over.
Cooper Rush is going to get smushed. This team, as Dak Prescott himself was seen mouthing the words on the sidelines, we suck.
Yeah.
He added another choice word. The Eagles are just playing at a high level. I don't like giving 7 points. They're playing in Dallas. I get it, but I don't understand how the Cowboys are. I think they've given up. I don't know what they're doing. It's just a train wreck.
I'd call it a hot mess. Is what I'd call it.
So I'll go with the EAGLES -7. I don't think he'll gain a lot of points, but I'll go with Philadelphia over the Cowboys.
Spread swing.
So last week with my second pick, I went head-to-head with one of you guys, and I'm going to continue that trend.
You're not.
Please pick me. Please pick me.
Deuce. Whoa. Wait a minute. You're not going to bet against the Kitties, are you?
I'm not going head-to-head with the interim producer, Tennessee. I'm not going head-to-head with the fraud father. I'm going head-to-head with my old man.
What are you doing? How dare you? You're not a Lions fan, but he's not a Lions fan.
Wow.
This is a trap game for the Kitties, all right?
agree.
I know that they look real good, and the Texans are coming off of a bad loss to the rather mediocre Jets, but the Texans have had a few extra days of rest, and I think Stroud and the rest of this Houston club are going to come out ticked off. After watching the Nebraska football collapse, I've understood the level to which my teams play at in games where we are really expected to win. And my skepticism for my football clubs is at an all-time high. This is the biggest trap game that the Detroit Lions have on their schedule, and I think we're going to get beat by the Houston Texans. I'll take Houston plus 3.5. A wounded Texan is a dangerous Texan, and they're going to show that this Sunday night.
Here's what I'm going to say to you. I've asked you the question over and over again, what were you thinking going to Lincoln? After what you just did, I'm going to change that to, what am I thinking paying you to go to Lincoln?
Well, there's that.
It sounds like, Deuce, what you really wanted to say was...
The Lions are a terrible team and a terrible city. Full terrible fans and a terrible stadium and terrible uniforms and terrible cheerleaders.
You did say that.
Everything about him's terrible.
Spread swing.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You're up.
I was thinking about what am I doing? What am I thinking paying for Lincoln? How is Tampa Bay coming? They gave the two-time defending world champion Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead everything they wanted for 4 quarters. A blunder decision at the end of the game may have cost them an upset victory there. I like this Baker Mayfield guy. You know what I like? The dedication. Do you remember how they always talked about a coach sleeping in the office overnight? He used to live at Cleveland Stadium. Remember? They showed those commercials.
The commercial. Yeah.
So I like this Tampa Bay club. I like Baker Mayfield.
I always love that one.
In San Francisco, I'm sorry, they've underachieved from what we expect from a San Francisco team, especially a team that was in the big game last year. I'm getting 6.5 points.
McCaffrey's
I'm
back.
taking Tampa Bay.
All right.
They get McCaffrey back, and they're off a bye week while Tampa Bay is on a short week because they played Monday night.
Right.
I'm taking Tampa Bay.
All right.
Tampa Bay.
Spread swing.
This might be a risky pick by me because the Baltimore Ravens are very capable of blowing anyone out in this league by 30 points. But the Bengals with Joe Burrow at the helm have traditionally been slow starters, and then they start ramping it up as the season goes along.
Yep.
And I feel like they're starting to get to that point now. They've won 3 of their last 4. They absolutely steamrolled the Raiders last week. And this is must-win scenario here for the Cincinnati Bengals, just given where they are in their division behind Baltimore and behind Pittsburgh. They know they need to win this one tonight. And I think you're going to get an epic Joe Burrow performance, and I'm going to take the 6 points on the road. I'm going to go Cincinnati plus 6.
Can I ask you one other question about that game? What if the Bengals get out to a 2-touchdown lead?
So I'm going Cincy plus 6.
Very good.
Spread swing.
I think the Vikings are going to smoke Jacksonville, but I really do. I just don't see their backup quarterback. I think Minnesota's going to play a lot better. I probably should take him, but I like another 7-point favorite a little bit better.
Chargers?
Yeah, at home. Yeah, the Chargers. Jimmy Harbaugh's got that team humming, and they're going to play. I think they're going to give Kansas City a run for its money before it's all said and done. That's a fun team to watch, and so I know they're at home. Tennessee's got to make that trip as well, and playing at SoFi. So I'm going to give the 7.5 and take the Chargers against the Titans, who the Vikings play, of course, a week from Sunday.
Very good.
Have you seen the point totals they've given up this year?
Who's that?
The Chargers.
No. I have not.
Gave up 10 in week 1.
Yeah.
3 in week 2. They did give up 20 in a loss to the Steelers. Then they gave up 17, then 16.
Yeah, they only got
then
up 101
17,
points.
then 8, then 10.
You know what they should call their defensive front four? The electric fence. No, workshop that? Do you think? Send it back to rewrite and have them punch it up? I kind of like it. Force field. Deuce, you're at the Vine Street Fields tonight, 8:30 feature matchup, right?
Tonight at 8:30, we're the top seed, so we're expected to make a big run and win the whole thing. So, yep, it continues tonight at 8:30, the prime time slot.
Your club's the top seed?
Yes, that we are.
Yeah, apparently the Cornhuskers aren't the only weak link over there in football. I mean, really, you're the top seed. Good luck to you tonight. And if you score a tutty, you got to do a celebration and get teed up, man.
Yeah, get it on tape too.
See if you can.
I'll do everything in my power. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks. We appreciate that. That's Deuce. What was he thinking going to Lincoln?
Later.
You're, I'm assuming, to picking the Vikings. I think I am too. Tend to be you as well. I just don't see. I like the Vikings. I mean,
if you want to be a legit playoff team, you need to beat a bad Jacksonville defense and a backup quarterback on offense.
Their pass defense is not good at all. I should have taken the Vikings as spread swing.
I don't know why you didn't.
I should have taken them over. But I like the Chargers a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, I'm saying name the score, but I think they're going to, they've been struggling, obviously, of late. Last week was a struggle offensively till the second half, but I don't look at it that way this week. I think.
Let's hope they bring the right cleats, because you never know. You get there, and all of a sudden you just never know how your footing's going to be.
Backup quarterback for Jacksonville.
What if it is a titanic struggle, and John Parker Romo has to trot out to kick a 51-yarder to win it?
I know. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Yeah.
We'll see you next week on Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
The legendary Mark Rosen of Channel 4 Sports Fame. You too. Tenneby, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. I enjoyed our visit with you today. I think Tenneby and Mark did as well. Thanks for sharing a portion of your day with us, but don't touch that dial. Stay right where you are. Batten down the hatches. Buckle your seatbelt. Hold on to your hat and elevate your scrotum. It's Big Ticket, JG. They're next, right here on The Fan.
Oh, boy.
That sounds like a heck of a radio show. I might want to listen. Timberwolves superfan, KFAN Stan Barrero.
Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. And good night, Minnesota.
And good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.